Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today we're going to be talking about my morning routine. All right, so many of you have asked me if I've gotten back into a routine since baby Firefly has been born. And the answer is not exactly. It's really difficult to get into a routine with a baby. If you had a baby, you know, or if you talk to anybody with a baby, you know. So instead of an actual routine, because that gets thrown off over anything, so instead what I have are 10 things that I try to do every day to help my day go well. And I don't get these done every single day, but I do try. I tend to get these 10 things done each day. And sometimes it's with the kids around and sometimes not. So, but either way, they're getting done and it does help me. All right, so let's just dive right in. The first thing that I like to do when I wake up in the morning is get dressed. I do this before I leave my room. Like as soon as I wake up and pop out of bed, I get dressed. There's something about that for me where like if I wake up and I stay in my pajamas to like eat breakfast or anything like that, like it just sort of sets me up personally for sort of a lazy day. So for me, so I can just wake up and hit the ground running, I get dressed first thing and that way I come out and I'm like ready for the world. The second thing that I like to do before I leave my room is my skincare routine. My skincare routine is super simple, you guys. I really don't do much. Basically, I just put a moisturizer on my face. I use this Olay Regenerist moisturizer, and then I like to put a moisturizer on my hands. I use Nivea moisturizer for my hands, and that's really the end of it. But if I've started my day by doing that, then I've kind of done a little bit of something for me before I leave and start doing stuff for everybody else. So the first thing that I do when I come out of my room is I go straight into the kitchen and I wash my hands. Now this is the ritual hand washing that I've discussed a little bit more in depth in a different video, and I will link to that in the description box below for you guys. But this hand washing is a Jewish thing, and I love how it just sort of starts my day with the focus of I am Jewish and I am doing these things for Hashem, and I'm just going to start my day by doing something for Hashem, just like right off the bat. So it really helps me to have a good focus for my day. So those first 4 items I really do in that order, generally speaking. From here on out, it could be really any order. All right, so the next one, I like to drink tea in the morning. I like this to be my first drink. And I like my whole little setup with the tea. I have a hot water urn that I could just pull hot water out of and toss a tea bag into, but I like to use my kettle. I like to use a pretty teacup. I like to put my cream in the little creamer pitcher and take my sugar from the pretty little jar. It's, I don't know, a little ceremonial, I guess, but there's something about that I just find very calming. And again, it's that kind of self-care where it's like, I'm doing this for me, and it's a whole process. And I really do enjoy that, just kind of the ritual of it. And so having my tea in the morning is something that I really do enjoy, especially now that it is getting colder outside, which I love. Okay, so the next item on my list is that I pray. Prayer is very important to me as an Orthodox Jew. I do this every morning. I do it in the morning in particular because, well, there are certain prayers that I need to say, upon waking up and before I really get started on my day. But then the other prayers that are very important that I could do later in the day, I need to go ahead for me personally and get those done early before too much of the day gets in the way. If I put off any of my prayers, they just don't get done. And I know this about myself and about how my days go, so I make it a point to do this as one of the very first things that I do in the morning. I make sure that before I turn on the computer or anything like that, that I am getting my prayers done so that I don't get carried away doing anything else or sidetracked, but it's got to get that prayer in first. And so again, this is setting up my day like the hand washing, that I am Jewish and this is what we do. Being able to start my day with that connection with God is so important and so beautiful, and just really sets my day up for, this is what my focus is. This is what I am doing things for. So that is another reason to get the prayers done first thing in the morning. All right, next, I like to have a healthy breakfast. It doesn't have to be complicated. My breakfast will range from a whole lot of things. This morning I just did toast and some smoked salmon, just because I don't know, I didn't feel like cooking anything. But I do have a lot of go-to meals. Some involve cooking, some don't. If I don't feel like cooking, I can do something like yogurt and granola and fruit. I might put together some overnight oats to put in the fridge that I can just pull out in the morning. A lot of mornings though, I do feel like cooking, and I really enjoy doing something either like scrambled eggs with spinach and mushrooms, or making some kind of like an egg sandwich with cheese and eggs and maybe vegan sausage, something like that. So yeah, a lot of different options for breakfast, but I like to have a nice breakfast for myself that I sit down and eat. Hopefully that does not always happen, but right now while the kids are sleeping in, it is working out that I am able to sit down and eat, which is fantastic. But if I don't, at least I'm still eating something and then I don't get grumpy. That makes the day better for everyone. All right, the next item on my list is to drink water. I want to start my day by drinking. I've got this big 20-ounce tumbler that I like to fill up, and I like to drink that before I drink anything else during the day outside of my tea. I pretty much count my tea like water, even though I do put cream and sugar in it, but that's okay. Anyhow, I like to drink a lot of water there in the morning. Just go ahead and kind of start that water counting for my day. I have a water goal each day, and just to kind of start that out quickly gets me on the right track. And then I can refill that later as we kind of start to get busy to sip on throughout the day. But yeah, starting my day with that water, really like intentionally starting my day with the water, helps me to reach my goal of how much water I want to drink each day. And that just makes me overall feel better, and so that's also better for me and everyone. All right, next, I love to spend a little bit of time learning for myself before I start school with the kids. Doesn't always happen. This is one of the ones that if the kids are waking up too early, that I definitely don't get to, and then I'll do it later on in the day. I have this learning program that I'm doing where I'm learning one chapter from the prophets each day. And so I like to sit down and spend some time, hopefully getting through my chapter there in the morning so that I'm not worried about it later on the day or getting behind in my learning schedule. Also, when I'm doing this learning, I will pull over my commonplace book. I have a commonplace book for my general reading, and then I have a commonplace book specifically for this reading, this learning that I am doing. And this is just a book where I'll write down something. If I read something interesting, or if I have an idea or maybe a question I want to get answered later, I can write all of these ideas or thoughts down in this book that then I can go back to. I find it really useful. And it may only be a few pages of notes for an entire book, but it helps me go back and really understand what I've read and kind of see the overlying themes throughout the book and things like that. So it's definitely been something that has enhanced my learning experience. All right, so another thing that I like to do in the morning, kind of right before I dive into the nitty-gritty of the day, is I want to set my intention for the day. And this is one of those things where it could mean a lot of different things. Like, it's not the same thing every day. I have to kind of think for a second, what is my intention for today? A lot of times I think back to the previous day and I think, oh, well, I really wasn't very patient yesterday. Today, my intention is to be more patient. And I just kind of like think to myself and like say it like I am going to work on being more patient today. And that'll be a focus for the rest of the day. And so then I can start to improve these character traits in myself that maybe I don't like or that might be emerging or anything like that. And if there wasn't really an issue that speaks to me, I guess, from the day before, then I can just think of something else like, well, I want to be extra smiley with my kids today, or, I want to maybe call my husband a few times during the day and just let him know I'm thinking about him, or whatever it is. But I want to set my intention, like, what is my intention for the day? What is like the one goal that if I could get this one thing done that's not on my to-do list, not like a to-do list item, but like what one thing would make my day successful? If I could just do this one thing, what would it be? And so that's what I mean by setting my intention. So yeah, if I could be more patient with my kids today, then you know what? Today's a win. If I could smile more to everybody, then that's a win. Like whatever the thing is, it's a win if I can get that done. So that's what I mean by setting my intention. Okay, so the last thing that I do when I'm starting my day is I tackle my to-do list. Hopefully I'm getting to this point before the kids have woken up, but if not, it's usually at least a little bit before our school day starts. And I'm able to just cross off a couple of things at least on the list before the day really gets going. I will set up my list the night before, but sometimes I'll think of new things and I'll add it on there in the morning before I get started. But yeah, that to-do list, so important for me. I love crossing things off of a list. Okay, so those are the 10 things that I am doing. So I guess it's kind of a morning routine, but not exactly. It's just, I don't know. And it's not like a checklist. It's not like, if I don't get these things done, I haven't done my day right. But when I do these things, they really help my day to go well. And I know that about myself. So when I'm doing these things go well. So I try to do these 10 things every morning. All right, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comment section below, what are some things that you really like to get done in the morning that help your day go well? Let's pick up some tips from each other. I think that would be a lot of fun. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It helps my channel out a lot and lets me know what kinds of videos you guys like to see. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you here again. And I have a video coming up that are 10 things that I like to do at night. So kind of a night routine, but not a routine like this, more of a list. Were 10 things that I do that help me set up for my next day and that also help me end my day well. So all of those things coming up in a future video here pretty quick. So, all right, so that is it. Thank you all so much. As always, I super appreciate you being here. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload. So instead, what I do is 10 things that probably should have thought about what I wanted to say before I got on here. I tend to get them done most days, and it's not always with I tend to get this done on, but if, leave root.